Alright, how's it going? I know no one likes really long introductions, so we're just going to get straight into the video. My name's Brian O'Donnell, or Explore, Create, Capture, and this is 5 tips to instantly improve your photo game. Tip number 1, angles. When you're walking around, you're looking at everything from head height, but a cool picture shows you something that you don't usually see, or shows you something you usually see but from a different angle or a different perspective, or it just brings out certain colors that you would not usually catch with your own eye. So a little trick here is to not shoot from head height. If you're walking around with your camera up to your eye and just clicking photos, you're taking cool photos, yes, but if you get that camera down to the ground and shoot up, or you get that camera up high and shoot down, you'll get a way more epic feel to the image and it'll be a lot more visually appealing. So for example, instead of shooting an object from above, where you'd see with your eyes every day, shoot it from the same level as the object, because when are you ever squatting down beside like a book looking at it? You're always looking from above. So new angles make for better photos. So tip number 2, shoot through something. People are constantly obsessing over this thing called bokeh, which is basically the blur you get in the background of images or the foreground of images. By shooting through something, and it can be anything, it can be a lemon squeezer, it can be grass, it can be a cheese grater, it can be anything, it can be your own fingers. But by shooting through something, you create that sense of depth and it really draws attention to the subject. So for example, even now, if I was to take a self-portrait of me now, yes, I could take a photo like this. And yeah, it would be grand. But if I put my hands up and create a frame, you'll feel that sense of depth and you'll feel like your eye is drawn into me as a subject, and the picture will feel a lot sharper. On to tip number 3, and personally my favorite tip of them all: think different, be different. So this is really important because it makes you stand out from others. If you're going to a cool location, you know that someone's taking a cool photo there. Yes, you can try and replicate that photo, but if you put your own spin on that photo, it'll be so much more appealing and impressive, and you'll feel a lot better that you got that creativity out of you and you created something that was your own, not just a replicate of others. And this applies to anything. If you're doing a photo shoot with a rugby ball, for example, you could just take a standard photo from head height of the ball on a table, or you could have it in action, you could throw it towards the camera, you could chuck water at it, you could do so many other things to get that creativity out of you, and it makes it so much more exciting photo, especially when it hasn't been done before. Okay, tip number 4, shadows. I think shadows are one of the most underrated things in photography. People are always focused on the lighting. You have to be exposed right, you have to have lighting from either direction, you have to have all these big expensive things, but not many people focus on the effect that shadows can have on an image. If you put the torch in your phone up against an object that has loads of holes in it, it makes a really cool design, which can be especially utilized for portraits, as it like speckles the face with different elements and light. Apologies for saying speckles the face, that was one of the most cringy things I've said on camera, but it does actually do that. So on to tip number 5. Tip number 5, reflections. Reflections are everywhere. I just made a simple reflection there at my phone just by putting it up against my camera. This can be used really well if you just have a simple photo of, let's say, architecture or something. Put your phone on the ground, get that really clean mirror image of the object you're photographing. Another thing, windows. You look at windows, they're see-through, but if you go to the very edge of them and shoot sideways with your camera squeezed up against the window, it'll turn into a mirror and it looks really fresh. A really popular one that's going around like TikTok and everything at the moment is puddles. People are just putting their phones or cameras right down beside a puddle and it just gives you that perfect reflection. Also, how cool are reflections? I know it's easy to Photoshop a reflection, you can do that if you want, but if you catch a reflection in camera, it's always going to look better and you didn't cheat yourself. So there you have it, 5 simple tips that will instantly improve your photo game. If you apply each of these, even practice them as you go along, you'll 100% get better results and you'll start improving your photography as you go. So if you learned anything in this video, give it a thumbs up. I see that you're here now, so just tap subscribe. Thanks. And comment below if you have any questions or you have any requests on videos you'd like me to make. So thanks for tuning in, this has been awesome. I'll catch you in the next video.